Hey everyone, I'm Andre, also known as Meddler. Paul, that's your line.
Thank you, Andre. I'm Paul, also known as Pabro. Today is March 26th, and we're here to talk to you a bit about what you can expect in Season 2, as well as a few other more general updates. Quick spoiler warning, if you haven't seen the Season 2 Act 1 gameplay trailer that went live earlier today, we'll pause for a few seconds so you can check that out.
Okay, welcome to Season 2, Pandemonium. In this season, we're moving to the outskirts of Demacia, where we'll be following Vayne as she does what she does best, hunts down demons. And along the way, we'll also learn a little bit more about her, as she deals with a few demons from her past that have come to haunt her.
Make sure you keep an eye out for comics on Vayne coming out later this season for more details. Alright, now let's jump into some other things you can expect to see in Season 2 this year. Starting off, we're going with a shorter season for this one, lasting a total of 6 patches instead of the usual 8 to make room for a longer season later this year.
As a result, we've also got Battle Pass changes to make it quicker to complete. So the amount of time it takes, relative to the length of the season, should be roughly the same. We're also going to be trying something different with the seasonal Battle Pass skins as well. Many of you have asked that we make them direct purchase, so we're going to be doing just that. In this season, the non-prestige Battle Pass skins will be available in the store, and taking their place on the Battle Pass will be Fiendish Mystery Skin loot orbs that will drop a random, demon-themed epic skin instead.
On the topic of skins, in the last update, we heard from quite a few of you that wanted to hear some more about upcoming skins, so we're going to do just that, starting with a short prestige list. Shaco and LeBlanc are coming in Season 2, and Vhagar coming early next season.
Now, in terms of non-prestige skins, here's a sneak peek at some of the other skins coming up this season. Now, as you saw earlier in the video, we've got a new skin coming for Annie, plus a few other champs that we're calling Pandemonium. And for those of you who haven't gotten a skin for their champion in quite a while, we've got you covered as well with Rain Shepherd Ivan and Project Quinn coming soon.
And last, but certainly not least, are some very tasteful skins where we spent a lot of time cooking up for you. Hope you're excited like me.
Kill me.
So let us take a look. Day Jobs, that was great, Andre, by the way.
It's killing me.
Day Jobs is making a return in Season 2, and this time we're trying out a cooking theme, if you couldn't tell by our terrible puns.
His terrible puns.
Okay, thank you.
Making her debut as well is Breadsticks Aurelia. Don't let her get on a roll. Otherwise you're going to say,
don't know! Inspired by our delicious, wonderful code, Spaghetti a la Vel'Koz will also be serving on the Rift later this season. And look, remember, when you're playing League, you're family. You don't always get along, but we hope you do. Alright, switching gears a bit, we want to talk a bit about the gameplay changes that we have coming for Season 2. We have some follow-up work on the Season 1 gameplay changes, particularly role quests.
Some of the most common topics that we've seen were uncertainty around where in lane you got top or mid lane role quest progress, and that certain champions who prefer to proxy or roam, like assassins or singed, were struggling to keep up with role quests as a result. So, we've adjusted where you get your progress for your role quest in lane, and how forgiving it is. To be clear, you'll still need to come to lane some of the time to progress on your role quest, but you won't be penalized for doing the things your champions want to do.
Additionally, we've adjusted the rewards for top to provide more experience for team fighting and swapped the mid lane empowered recall for 6% bonus AD and AP. Our goal with these changes is to better reward the variety of classes and champions that get played in these roles, rather than mainly rewarding split pushers in top lane or non-roaming champs in mid, and to provide some scaling rewards for mid laners as well.
Now, outside of role quests, we're investing in some longer term work to expand build diversity for a lot of champions. This will show up in things like item adjustments, new keystones, and better supporting alternative builds to increase strategy and creativity. So think things like AP Israel, or ADC Kennen, or attack speed Sinjal.
One of the ways you'll see this in Season 2 is the return of 2 runes, Deathfire Touch and Storm Raider's Surge. Both keystones will be in the sorcery tree, with Storm Raider's Surge replacing Phase Rush. We also have a variety of item adjustments to items, including Dusk and Dawn, 2 new starting items, new Omnivamp boots, and the removal of Trailblazer and Opportunity.
We also wanted to talk briefly about the next new champion coming to League. They'll be coming out in Season 2, Act 2, so we don't want to spoil too much right now. We do want to let you know though that they are a AP mid lane assassin, and you should expect to hear more about them in our next dev update.
All right, we're going to pass things over to Eduardo and Mike to talk about some updates we have planned for Arena.
Hey everyone, I'm Eduardo, Riot Cadmus Cortejoso.
And I'm Mike, RogueFool, lead designer on Arena, and we're here to talk to you about Arena.
We've got a lot of information to share with you, so we're just going to go straight into it, starting with events. Events are new ways to experience Arena with an added twist. For this season, we'll be introducing 3 events starting in patch 2610.
Our first event is going to be 3x6, aka 6 teams of 3, 3 players on each team. No longer do you need to leave a friend behind to enjoy Arena, as long as you don't have more than 2 friends. Anyway, having 3 players on each team should help create a wider variety of team comps and allow more champions of each type to find success in the mode. Meanwhile, having fewer teams comes with the benefit of allowing you to learn other teams' play styles and matchups when you go back to rematch them again, and keep that in mind. 3x6 will stay on for 3 patches, and after that we'll be switching to a longtime community ask, Bravery.
Are you tired of going up against people playing Yuumi, Alistar, or Zyra and Shaco? Well, this is your time to shine. This is something many of you have been asking for, and we're here to deliver. Everyone in the lobby will automatically be opted into playing Bravery. If you really don't want to leave it to good old-fashioned chance, you'll still be able to pick from a few random crowd favorites every game. This should help reward players that are able to play flexibly and adapt to any situation or champion that they get.
Finally, our last event for the season is Swift Arena. In this event, we're looking to make games of Arena faster by limiting the number of teams down to 4. This means you'll have more reps against each team. You can take advantage of knowing their play styles and getting more games if you're running short on time. And then after that...
Well, we haven't decided on what happens after. We're planning on using learnings from these different events to better understand what elements of Arena really resonate with all of you.
In the meanwhile, we think events are something that will keep the game fresh and exciting throughout the season.
So, all right, that's everything on events, but we have a bit more in store for Arena this season.
Next up, we have a brand new map called the Petricite Grove. The Petricite Grove is on the outskirts of Demacia, with large walls and plenty of places to hide. But be careful, there are also mining bombs, used to mine Petricite scattered throughout the map. When struck, bombs will roll before exploding, damaging opponents and plants in the area. If you strike a bomb with an immobilizing effect, they'll explode instantly, allowing you to blast your opponents to pieces.
The next new feature we have coming to Arena is augment levels. Augment levels let you supercharge your favorite augments by making them stronger and adding some new effects like Fan the Hammer, for example, firing more missiles. Once you've picked 2 augments to level up, you can use your future choices to upgrade them instead of just adding new ones. We really wanted to empower players to lean into the augments that they have the most fun with and raise their high rolls to new heights.
And speaking of high rolls, well, you can still only have 4 augments most of the time. Augments will be offered much more frequently this season, allowing you to select a new augment, level an existing one, replace one with one of a higher tier, and in Round 8's new crafting round, you can fine-tune your build by choosing to gain an extra augment slot, sacrificing one of your augments to power up the rest. And last but not least, what would be an update to Arena without augments and guests of honor?
We have over 20 new reworked guests of honor coming up throughout the season. Some of these will include Nocturne, who will create dark zones around the map, and Shaco, who will create chaos and make all your augment rolls random tiers.
We won't be listing out the rest here, but you can expect a few more demon-themed guests to make an appearance. As for augments, we've got over 30 new ones, some coming from ARAM Mayhem and some brand new to League.
All right, that's it for Arena's updates this time around. Be sure to check out all the changes we have talked about and a few that we didn't, and we'll see you in the Petricite Grove.
Hello again, gamers. I'm DashiJador.
And I'm Riot CallMeKT.
WASD has reached a big milestone that we're excited to share with you all. WASD will be available in Ranked starting in patch 26.9, coming out with Season 2.
First, we want to give a big thank you to the hundreds of thousands of players who tested WASD at various points of development. Your feedback was instrumental in getting what we call Ranked Ready.
But Kelly, what do we mean by Ranked Ready?
Well, when we began rolling out WASD, we did so in unranked queues first, so that we could address any bugs or unintended interactions before LP was on the line. And of course, we wanted to ensure that a whole new control scheme would be balanced, both in perception and in practice. After extensive testing, analysis, and adjustments, we've gotten to the point where WASD has reached a similar performance level as point-and-click controls. There's still a small delta in the win rates between the 2 control schemes, with point-and-click having a minor advantage. We expect that difference will decrease over time as players gain more mastery with WASD, so we'll continue to monitor this stat in the future.
We've also been working on an exciting new feature for all players, regardless of which control scheme you want to use. The ability to set up champion-specific keybinds. Starting tomorrow, you can configure different keybinds for all of your mates. I suggest hopping into the practice tool so that you have plenty of time to explore the new options before minions spawn. And last but not least, we've been recently improving several of our accessibility options for all of these control schemes. These changes include expanded keybind support, enabling remapping of your mouse, as well as increased cursor size, just to name a few.
For those interested, more detailed information on everything we've covered can be found in a new dev blog coming out today.
We first set out on this journey when we discovered that new players sometimes struggle with League's traditional point-and-click control scheme. With WASD officially becoming an option in all of League of Legends modes, we hope that everyone can enjoy League with whichever control scheme they find most intuitive. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the Rift.
All right, we also wanted to give you a heads up on something we've been working on. A really frustrating experience in League is having your game ruined by someone just straight inting. And while you can report them, and they will get punished, you still have your time wasted stuck in a game you had no chance of winning because someone decided to troll.
Starting in a few patches, you'll be given an option to vote to end the game early when game-ruining behavior is detected. This will function much like when there's an AFK teammate. Once the system detects that a player is intentionally feeding, doing something like selling all their items or running it down or whatever, the other players on their team will be offered a surrender vote. If that vote, which does not include the inting players, goes through, the game will be ended then and there. Players on the allied team will be LP neutral. Players on the enemy team will receive full LP, as though they had won. And the offending player, and if they have won their pre-made party, will all lose LP. And of course, the offending player will also receive a punishment.
Another update we wanted to share is that we're going to begin rolling out a new Discord integration with the League client, starting with the beta in the US, Canada, and Brazil. In short, you'll be able to link your Discord and Riot accounts to easily invite your Discord friends to in-game parties, see who's playing, and join League lobbies via party links.
And when we say easily, we mean literally from your friends list. No alt-tabbing necessary. Party links allow you to copy and paste a link into your Discord server, socials, or stream to invite all your friends to join, so no more manually inviting one by one.
Players in the US, Canada, and Brazil will be able to connect your Riot account to Discord starting tomorrow. We'll continue to test and refine over this beta and plan on expanding to additional regions in a few patches. To be clear, this is different from the in-game team voice that we talked about last month. We don't have any news on that right now, but if you're curious about how we're approaching team voice, check out the dev blog we recently released.
Alright, so that's pretty much all of the major updates we've got for you today. But before we go, we do have a few smaller things that we wanted to give you all a heads up about. First off, some of the League team will be showing up at Gamescom in Brazil at the end of April, so do be sure to stop by and say hi.
Next up, your shop is coming back on May 5th, and the Blue Essence Emporium will be coming out the following week on May 13th.
And something we forgot to mention when it went live is that custom games are now supported for all live game modes, including things like Mayhem and Arena that weren't previously supported.
All right, so one last thing before we go. We have some content from all of you that we wanted to highlight, so let's take a look.
First up, we have this piece from a Brazilian artist for the Fan Fest at First Stand, featuring the newly reworked Shyvana.
And we have this beautiful rendered image of Bilgewater and lit up by a wonderful item I believe is called a ward. I don't know, I don't see those in my games as much as I should.
Yeah, that's a you problem. And then we have this fan art of Firecracker Seraphine.
I like the colors here.
Next, we've got a number of cosplayers, starting off with this fantastic Aurora cosplay.
And this awesome Lux. Look at the detail in the armor. It's pretty sick.
Also, love the Galio in the background there.
Yeah.
Good posing.
And look at this really cool Spirit Blossom Ari cosplay.
Still one of my favorite skin lines.
It's really cool.